What's going on, Fight World? Still Mills checking back in with y'all. I wasn't gonna say shit about this because I just thought it was that much of a non-factor. But I kind of want to speak on the Canelo and Avani fight coming up on Saturday, man. I understand people's plight. Yeah, you feel me? Like I did why they talking about all this a cherry pick and yada yada yada. And he vacated his title to duck Charlo and all that shit. My thing is this: you normally would have you'd have a legitimate argument in any other scenario, but the dude is taking a stay busy fight in preparation for Billy Joe Saunders. Canelo was fighting 2 times in 2 months, and if he gets through this fight with no injury, he'll have another fight for Cinco de Mayo. And if he gets through that fight, he already pretty much has an undisputed match lined up with Caleb Plant. And a possible 4th fight for December, if he gets through that match and goes undisputed. My thing is this: what is any other fighter doing that is supposed to be the rightful opponent to Canelo? What are they doing? Because I know it's a lot of people saying Charlo. We have not seen Charlo since September. That's damn near a half a year. And he's not even the face of the sport. Canelo's the face of the sport, already looking to fight 4 times. We didn't see Floyd fight 4 times in a year. I don't even think we saw Floyd fight 3 in a year. So for us to be getting this out of a Canelo, that shit is dope. We haven't seen, Andrade's finna fight Wilson. But when was the last? Did Andrade fight last year? I'm not too sure if he fought last year. I could be wrong, but I don't recall. We haven't seen Charlo since he beat Derevianchenko in September. That's coming up on 6 months, my nigga. Like, come on, man. Like, this shit is getting a little ridiculous, man. Like, and these cats keep playing themselves, trying to wait on the Canelo fight instead of forging their own legacy. I just think, a lot of these cats are gonna end up like Amir Khan. They're gonna go up in a division too high that they're not supposed to be up in. They're gonna get viciously crashed up there and then try and drop back down and wait, and they're not gonna be the same. Like, come on, man. Like, stop waiting on that man to forge your own legacy and force a fight. Force that leverage on him. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have no leverage at this moment. So instead of clapping at him for taking Avani Yildrim, get in your bag and go to work. Go to work. Hit the gym. Get on the phone with Al Heyman and make some phone calls and man, let's try and get an opponent lined up. Jamal Charlo could be a possible at the end of the year if Canelo gets through everybody he's supposed to get through to get that, to go undisputed. So that's all I'm saying. That's what I gotta say about that, man. You dig? Like, stop waiting on a Canelo fight and get in the get in the gym your goddamn self and go to work and clock in, my nigga. Punch in and get some credible wins under your belt. So that's what I wanted to say about that. As far as Avani Yildrim goes, the actual match, I went back and I watched his fight with Anthony Dirrell. And I saw some good things from him, man. The dude, he's a workhorse in that motherfucker, man. It's nothing really that stands out, but I did see flashes of brilliance in there with him. You dig what I'm saying? I seen him when he would have Dirrell trapped on the rope, he'll cut the angle and launch the left hook off. He did it about once. I think he did it once or twice, but I remember it was one point that he did that in that fight, and the left hook actually landed, and Dirrell had to spin off of the rope. So I seen some good in there from him, man. The dude, he's a workhorse, man. That's the best thing that he has going for him. He's a pretty brolic dude. He's taller than Canelo. Got him by about 2 inches. He's a workhorse in there. That's about all that I see in his favor, though. And keep that shit 100 with you. It's not really even in his favor, because for you to be a workhorse, that means you're gonna have to come forward. That's what Canelo wants. And I just don't see Yildrim having the tools to back Canelo up, even punching power. I didn't see the tool. I mean, you know, the cut from Darrell came from a clash. I didn't see the tools that he would have to back a Canelo up and force him to become a back foot fighter and force his back to the rope and just completely control the real estate in the ring. I didn't see that from him. I didn't. You dig? You know, not too much head movement, not zero head movement. You know, yeah, you know, you'll see him slip, you'll see him get up under a shot, but for the most part, he's catching you know, his guard is high up and he's catching the shots on the glove. You know, it was just nothing that had me saying, man, this is gonna be a problem for Canelo. It was nothing like that. It was nothing like that. I didn't see any of that, man. I saw a workhorse in there. I saw a workhorse in there, but Canelo's a workhorse as well. A workhorse with dimensions and layers to his game. You know, I seen him, you know, I seen Yildrim landing some really good body shots. And I also seen him giving up body shots as well. Nah, man, no. I'm just excited to see Canelo this weekend. You know, that's my guy. That's one of my favorite fighters. And I used to hate that motherfucker too. When he vacated his belt, or that's how it looked when he had to give up his title. You know, that was when I was, I can't stand this motherfucker. Yeah, like I was never a fan of Canelo. I wasn't always a fan of Canelo. I was most definitely a detractor of the dude, but after, who was that, Kirkland, I was like, damn, it's pretty undeniable right now. And his fight with Cotto, I thought it was a draw. I got to go back and watch that fight, but I never watched it again because they gave Canelo the match, and I wanted Cotto to win. And I was like, man, that was a draw because of that, you know, it was my own stubborn ways. I never went back and rewatched the fight, so I got to go back and rewatch that. But that's when I was like, all right, bro, like, it can't even be denied no more. But, you know, shit would happen, and I'll be like, man, fuck that nigga. Fuck that nigga. But I think when he grew the beard, when he grew the beard, I was like, all right, this is the Canelo I fuck with right here. You dig? I like, you know, I got a pretty broad base of like how I like, you know, my fighters to look. And I'm, you know, of course everybody loves a slugfest or whatever, man, but I appreciate finesse in a fighter. I appreciate finesse. Mike Tyson is my favorite fighter. Like that, he's just the GOAT to me, man. But it was, even with his forward aggression, you dig, it was so finesse in how the finesse is on such a high level with Tyson. It looked like a dude only 5'10" was walking down 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" ass niggas. Like, oh, he ain't doing that. He just walking. He just coming forward. He just walking through. He's a brawler and this and that and the third, but just completely disregarding the head movement and the the footwork to put himself in position to get past an opponent's jab, and the combination punching, just the technique behind the punching, just getting the right amount of leverage off on the shot. He's launching uppercuts on 6'4" ass niggas, and he's only 5'10", 2 inches taller than me. And just the fear that he put in the heads and the hearts of these dudes that he was going in there fighting. That was, you know, NBA height ass niggas. You dig what I'm saying? Like, good height for the NBA. That speaks to the finesse of Mike Tyson. And when you look at a cat like Canelo, he has that finesse. It's a finesse to him, because, you know, oh man, Mexican style, would you just come forward and be, you know, brawling and shit like that. And, you know, it's good technique. It's good technique, but it's more so brawling and being a brute than technique. You dig? I mean, they you know, that's why Chavez is such, you know, they hold him in such high revere, because he was just a warrior in there. But they, you know, they'll disregard the technique that he had with the head movement and the footwork to put himself in position to launch them body shots. they'll just, you know, they'll negate all that and be like, oh man, you know, Mexican style. So, you know, whatever with that, man. Canelo is, Eddie Reynoso has these cats looking like, nah, fuck that. The objective is, I get we want to be warriors and shit like that. We are warriors. We professional prize fighters. But the objective is, after we retire, we want all of our motor skills intact. And I feel like that's the mentality that he's trying to embed in the fighters in his gym. And Canelo, being his golden goose, is a prime example of that. It's just a certain level of finesse that this dude has. You just see, like, man, Canelo is different. So I'm just happy to see him fight this weekend, man. And I'm not mad at the Avani Yildrim fight, because I understand that, all right, I need this. Let me get a lighter touch to stay a little bit sharper, so I can be prepared for Billy Joe Saunders. Because that's a tough fight. That's going to be a tough fight. A lot tougher than what a lot of people are, you know, thinking. I think Saunders and Caleb Plant are the biggest threats to him. And Andrade, if he ever decided to come up, just because, you know, just the height, the reach, and the footwork. So I'm just excited to see Canelo this weekend, man. I think the dude he's gonna fuck around. You know, he's gonna carry him the first few rounds, maybe, you know, first 4 rounds. I don't see him really opening up until about the second or third round. That's when he'll start to open up and just unleash, you know, hellacious combinations and look to get him the fuck up out the paint. That's what I see. That's when I think that'll start happening. What in the entire fuck? All right, cool, people is here. So that's my take on it, man. I'm not mad at it. You know, it could have been better fights, but shit, you know, why not have a stay busy fight and go for, you know, a softer touch before you go into there with a real, you know, a real live wire. So that's how I feel about it, man. I just arrived at my meeting, man. I'll tap back in with y'all when I'm out of here, man. Still Mills Boxing, man. Like and subscribe. Peace.